Pats last Sunday. But Damien Richardson's Shelbourne also had their eyes set on the top spot. Jer Canning is your commentator.
It's very definitely a red letter night here in Tolka Park. Shells in the red shirts, attacking the goal here to our right. Ball nicely held up here. Mark Rutherford trying to get by Declan Daly. Good cross. Oh, well met. And Stephen Geoghegan has made it 1-0 to Shelbourne. Just 13 minutes gone. A precise cross there by Mark Rutherford and met solidly by Geoghegan. Cork trying to get on terms here. Trying to bring as much width into their game as possible. Colin O'Brien here right on the corner flag. And earning yet another corner kick. Derek Colin going forward. Cahill taking it. And Goff has dropped it down. And somehow it's hoofed off the line there. Should have been, but Shells survive. This is what happened here as Hartigan was trying to plant it in the goal area. Kabaya also trying to steer it in. And in the end, it was dug out somehow. Phil Harrington, who missed last Sunday's match against St. Pat's because of a suspension. Cork missing a couple of midfield players who are usually vital to their chances. This is Kabaya, new signing. Trying to take it around Scully. Well, that's a strange one. And certainly Damien Richardson, the Shells manager, is absolutely furious with that one. Colin to hit it. Oh, just outside. Very, very close indeed for Derek Colin. So Kabaya now, early stages of the second half, and leaving it behind. And well taken away from him there. Sheridan going forward. A gap opened up against Harrington, and Harrington spreads himself well. It should have been number 2. A big yawning gap there. There were players to the right and to the left, and he swept right through the centre. And this is where he should have made it 2-0 to Shelbourne, but didn't. Hartigan has been an excellent leader of the attack tonight. Lovely first touches. Again, it's laid off towards Kabaya. O'Brien coming onto it, and it's 1-1. Colin O'Brien. Kabaya played it into his path in front of goal, and from there he simply couldn't miss. Geoghegan. Again. Oh, that's a penalty. Cork are most annoyed. Was there contact? Look at it again. Inevitably Sheridan causing the problems. Well, there may have been just a slight tangle. Geoghegan puts it away, and it's 2-1. Delight for Stephen Geoghegan. O'Brien keeping it moving along that left-hand side there. Shelbourne unable to clear. Here's another chance. Flanagan had the opening. Stopped on the line. Should have been 2-2. Mark Rutherford back there for Shelbourne. This was the opening. Hartigan let it run on for Kelvin Flanagan, and Goff got down smartly. Rutherford again that time. The referee calling back Derek Colin. And it's a yellow card. Not sure there was much of a foul in that, quite honestly. Nicely planted. Oh, problems here, and it's gone in. Is it an own goal, or did Scully get a touch? They're going to Scully. It's 3-1 to Shells. Beautifully flighted in that time by Pat Fenlon. Harrington came but didn't get, and it seemed to go off the defender, but Scully is taking the credit.
And after Shelbourne's third goal, things got even worse for Cork City with the dismissal of Derek Coughlin 6 minutes from time. Manager Dave Barry was ordered from his dugout moments later and defended 2 orders just before the final whistle, so a bad night for Cork City. In last night's other Premier Division tie at United UCD last week, were anxious to get back to winning ways. Peter Collins was there.
Its relatively new look Sligo Rovers side started in attacking mood at Tolka last night, and after Shelbourne's Desi Baker gave the ball away, Porrick Moran made a determined break towards goal. The challenges notable by their absence bar that one, and it was Goff and Scully who combined to avert the imminent danger. Shelbourne had their chances too in the first half. Mark Hutchinson dispossessed here by Pascal Vaudecan and playing the quick 1-2 with Gagan. Desi Baker provided the option with a good run into space, but he took his eye off the ball at the last minute and shot wide of the post. Even he knew that was a good chance wasted. A good Sligo Rovers move here. Falcon Rose playing a perfectly weighted ball to Steve Jones. First touch letting him down though, and Alan Goff was off the line smartly to make the save. David Regis unable to do anything with the follow-up. Well, the visitors created another chance as the first half drew to a close. Baker adjudged to have handled the ball there. Free kick to Sligo Rovers. In it came, and there appeared to be little danger. Greg Costello rising here to head it away from the danger area. Pascal Vaudecan picking it up and knocking it back to Desi Baker, who had a Sligo man right on his heels. The clearance found Fenlon, who uncharacteristically lost out to the tenacious Hutchinson. An excellent shot just wide of the post. Well, the second half was a very different story as far as Shelbourne were concerned. This time the Sligo players guilty of standing off as Desi Baker bore down in goal. Nice through ball, finding Stephen Gagan. Look at this for a finish. 1-0 to Shelbourne. The Shells number 10 proving that he's right back on form. Having got the opener, Shelbourne's attacking play became more positive. A good ball here from Fenlon to Mark Rutherford, always menacing from this sort of position. And then the lunging challenge from Cobbison resulted in a free kick and a yellow card for the Sligo number 2. Fenlon with the free kick, finding Pat Scully, but the centre-half's header just over. 3 of Shelbourne's in-form players were involved in a sweeping move upfield that led to goal number 2. Desi Baker first getting it away to Pat Fenlon, who in turn put Rutherford away. The winger's cross deflected to the back of the net by the unlucky Ian Lynch. 2-0 to Shelbourne. Well, Sligo did have the odd chance to pull one back, one of the better ones falling to Regis after Hutchinson's free kick. He really should have done better from that position. Well, it was the Gagan-Baker combination that put the game well out of Sligo Rovers' reach. The Irish under-21 star wasting no time in making his decision to shoot and getting his just reward. Shelbourne very much in the title race, 3-0 at Talca Park last night.
That's a good result there for Damien Richardson's men. Now let's have a check.
Beat off.
Chance to plant this one in the square. So Shells have the chance to break themselves. Great ball for Stephen Gagan, but there was an offside flag raised. Excellent ball. Campbell and McCarthy there for Shelbourne. Baker, one of the stars of the under-20 trip to Malaysia when Ireland finished 3rd in the world. Mullen to the feet of Markey. That's Marr. Good control. Hanrahan trying to link up with Owen Mullen. Instead it's a Vaudecan for Shelbourne. Trying to play it through into the path of Desi Baker. And Shawnee Marr does well. Shells looking the more convincing in these early minutes. Baker going for it himself, could have gone anywhere, and Rutherford was lurking as well. Again, Shells are getting that ball in early and decisively, and Bohemians are struggling to cope. Byrne only as far as Scully. Vaudecan pushing it infield. Gagan, nice pass. Rutherford again, plenty of space in which to manoeuvre. Oh, so very nearly turned in there. Marr came very close indeed to an unfortunate OG. It's just when Rutherford appeared not to take players on, but to go for it himself. The little touch there by Marr, and he's breathing a mighty sigh of relief. Baker the taker. That's out by Hanrahan, a combination of Hanrahan and James Call. Fenlon flighting it back in. Oh, down there from Call. Rutherford again. Pressure remains on, and in the end, the referee indicts Dave Campbell. And what was Call just thinking of there as Fenlon knocked it in away to the far post. It would be lovely at the other end, but not in his own penalty area. Rohan into space. Scully reeling backwards. In comes on Mullen. Chance on here. Brilliant! That is so minutes are gone. Owen Mullen comes in to chip the goalkeeper. Brohan planted it. Scully was out of position. And coming in on the blind side very decisively was Owen Mullen. And look at this for a deft flick. Absolutely brilliant. This the move again. There was always the chance that somebody would make a run on the blind side. Mullen did. So a free kick then for Shells. Busy penalty area. Fenelon. And James Call protesting to the referee that he's been pushed. Returned in by Bodocan. Oh, not a bad effort at all by Pat Scully. But it's going to be a free out. Wouldn't have counted. This was Bodocan turning it back in here. And you can clearly see that the number 6 Scully was leaning on the defender. Well, Damien Richardson will have nightmares, I think, about the goal that has beaten his side so far after 18 minutes. Desi Baker, good ball forward. Gagan there, drags it back brilliantly. Again tries to chip the keeper, and keeper does extremely well. Good save by Michael Dempsey. The Dalymount crowd applauding this lovely piece of skill here. Gagan against Mari, dragged it back expertly. Precise shot, but palmed away. Once again, Pat Fenelon. And they go after it. Oh, it was McCarthy trying to get it in. Comes out to Bodocan. Returns it to Pat Fenelon. Again, wonderful skill here. Trying to get it under control and bring some authority to it. Again, this corner kick produced uncertainty in the Bohemian defence. Nobody quite able to get it away with any degree of authority, and it fell down there almost for Tony McCarthy. He was digging at it. Stephen Gagan trying to drag Shells on terms before half-time. Bodocan. Bodocan with the cross. Paul Doolan with the headed clearance. Retrieved there by Pat Fenelon. Oh, a terrible ball there in towards Gagan, and Tommy Byrne so very nearly playing his own defence into real peril. It's another corner kick. Fenelon to take this corner kick. And a long list of corner kicks that have always caused some uneasy moments. Half-time has come here at Dalymount Park. Only one goal to show for the first half. Damien Richardson goes in most disappointed. The goal scorer getting his second of the season was Owen Mullen. And so at half-time it's Bohemians 1, Shelbourne 0. Tommy Byrne. Out by Campbell. Gagan. Call returning it there towards Brendan Markey. That time held back. Tony McCarthy, the player, who committed the foul. You can see his arm was right around Markey. So will it be Brohan once again? Doolan is there also. And Tommy Byrne. Well, they're taking their instructions from the team boss himself, Turlock O'Connor. Second chance in this match, and Goff does really well. Right past the wall, went flying through the wall, and Goff got down smartly. Call. Byrne again, into space. Brian Mooney pushing it forward for Doolan. Oh, so very near to being number 2. That's an excellent chance. He wasn't too far away, just outside the penalty area, trying to put a bit of bend on it, but never quite sufficiently. Baker. Again trying to get in a decisive cross, but over the head of Rutherford. Frustrating afternoon for the number 11. Brohan. Again trying to master the young Englishman. Went off Rutherford. Oh, a wayward slice Marr coming through there was Fenlon, and the referee says play on. Campbell comes in as well, goes over defender, it's gone out for a corner kick. But that was a very interesting run through the centre there by Pat Fenlon. And it seemed a good enough tackle. 1 against 2. Markey contesting with Smith. Costello. This is McCarthy. Nice touch by Baker. Fenlon continues his move. Paul was challenging, took him from behind. Free kick. This is where Fenlon was coming through, continuing to menace. Not much doubt in my mind. It's going to be Fenlon, straight out the wall, and headed off the post. Oh, a handball! And real consternation in there. Everything was happening. This is where Fenlon hit it. Came in here, I think, off the post, and then was handled, yes, no doubt about it. Mullen. Here's Hanrahan. To the feet of Mullen again. Browan. The chip forward there towards Hanrahan, and Costello touches it away. Another corner. At the other end, that was Campbell's shot there that came off the post, but was then handled, as you saw, by Stephen Geoghegan. They were all protesting. Going longer this time. Scully in the air, challenging with Call. Rutherford knocking it out. Browan. Back in by O'Connor. McCarthy only as far as Byrne. Tommy Byrne still going forward. Trying to lob it. It was close. And it counts as a genuine challenge in the second half. Well, another one there, you feel that would have been it for Shells for this afternoon. Tommy Byrne taking the 1-2 there from O'Connor and just over the crossbar. Campbell in the air, beaten by the other number 5, who's James Call. Mullen. Every so often, Bows are quite capable of embarrassing Shells in defence. Back for O'Connor. An attempted wall pass just about comes off here. It's a great save from Tommy Byrne. Fenlon fortunate enough to take it away and take it around Owen Mullen. Well, he's been the busier keeper. Well, this is where Bowes very nearly put this game out of Shell's reach. A lovely wall pass played in to Hanrahan, returned to Tommy Byrne, beaten out by the goalkeeper. Again, let's turn back to Hanrahan. Poor clearance, putting Shells in trouble again. Hanrahan holding it up for Mullen to come on to. Nicely down here towards O'Connor. A great save by Alan Goff. He's produced some excellent saves, beaten just once after 18 minutes, but he's kept Shells in this match. Still going forward, denied a little while ago. Owen Mullen. Oh, it's a great ball over, and the keeper was in the right spot to save from Brian Mooney. Another dangerous moment there for Shelbourne. Scully now playing up front. Knocked back in by O'Connor towards Brendan Markey. Here's a chance to make it 2-0. And he spurned the opportunity. This is Doolan setting up the chance here. Mullen coming onto it. Now watch, Hanrahan was there, but so too was Mooney. But the positioning of Goff was excellent. Sheridan cross towards the danger area. Comes out towards Fenlon. Smith well into injury time. In it goes, and the goalkeeper saves it well, Michael Dempsey. And that, the final piece of action. And a huge cheer from the Bohemians faithful. They've beaten the opposition from just up the road. The managers shake hands. Goff was quite superb. He'll be displeased that he was beaten just once by Owen Mullen, but it was the deftest of shots. And the final score here, Bohemians 1, Shells 0.
Yes, a good result there for Bohemians, and that 1-0 win over Shelbourne moves them up to 6th in the Premier Division table. There was also action in the English Premiership today. Chelsea surprisingly went down to Bolton, while
both sides knew that a win would take them to the top of the...
Swung into the near post, only half-headed clear. Picked up by Pat Fenlon. Baker with the looping cross towards McCarthy's head. Breaks down maybe for Gagan. And Ford had to be sharp. First minute. Good start for Shells. Neville heads it away. Baker. Picked up by Mark Kenny. The ball over the top to Cousins, and he's in the clear on his left foot. And he couldn't keep it down. Tony Cousins will be furious with himself. That was a really good chance for Shamrock Rovers. Maybe left foot not quite as strong as his right. Gino Brazil back in the Rovers lineup tonight. Tracy lays it back to O'Neill. Caldwell has Kenny to his right. Lovely through ball. Now Cousins in the clear. He's got O'Neill in the centre, and O'Neill scores! Rovers ahead, 9 minutes gone. And Mark O'Neill, maybe a little bit off his knee, takes the credit. A cross from Cousins after a lovely build-up, and Goff had no chance. Finland finds Pascal Vaudecan. Little back heel to Greg Costello on the overlap. Cross to the far post, Rutherford's head, coming for Baker, half cleared, and Baker with the overhead. And if it had been on target, I think Robert Ford would have struggled to get that. Nice play by Shelbourne, the best they've produced so far. Only half cleared by Brazil. Baker with the audacious bicycle kick, foot or two wide. Kenny lays it back to Britton. Over the top, McCarthy stretching on his left side. And what a mistake by the centre half. Gives it straight to Tony Cousins. He's got Mark O'Neill coming into space. Costello closes him down, and O'Neill was just put off sufficiently. Corner kick to Shamrock Rovers. What terrible defending by Tony McCarthy. He only had to turn away from Tony Cousins, and he chose to try and play a reckless back pass straight to Tony Cousins. There's O'Neill moving into the space. The Shelbourne defence, though, shut tight at just the right moment. Given away in midfield. Neville finds Mark Rutherford. Stephen Gagan moving inside. Baker moving into the centre. That's Baker. Just a little behind him. Otherwise, the shot might have beaten Ford. But a good chance nevertheless. And a good game. More like a cup tie really than a league match. These two old rivals really producing the goods. Sight line there against Tony Cousins. Nick Neville with the free kick. Shelbourne. Over everybody's head. Falls to Stephen Gagan. Inside Brazil. Gagan with the chance and a great save. Robert Ford moving to his left. Denies Stephen Gagan. Still maybe not back to 100% fitness. But he beat Gino Brazil well here. Cut inside. Maybe a little tug from behind too that might have given him a penalty had he gone down. Ford made the save. Long ball looking for Cousins, isolated up front. Nice layoff by him though. Kenny with the through ball. Great running. Shamrock Rovers with the chance, and Cousins has spurned another opportunity. His movement off the ball has been quite superb, and Mark Kenny's through pass found him in acres of space. I don't think he realised how much time he had. And the left foot shot was well wide. So Shelbourne still a goal to the bad. We've played just 11 minutes in the second half. Campbell sees Neville in support. Maybe a chance to shoot. And it's there! What a goal by Shelbourne and Nick Neville. His first for some time. Off the outside of the right foot. And really Robert Ford had no chance with this one. Must be 30 yards from goal. That's as good a goal as you're going to see this season. So Shelbourne, who've lifted their game since that equaliser, now taking the game to Rovers. And it's Gagan getting away from Brazil. Baker ahead of him. He goes for the shot. Oh, off the inside of the post. How unlucky. Wonderful play by Stephen Gagan. Just got a yard away from Gino Brazil, and with the inside of the right foot, that had the goalkeeper well beaten. The post intervened. Shelbourne now. Game completely changed after Cousins' miss and that equaliser. And away goes Baker. Only 4 to beat, and the keeper did well. Stood up and managed to make the save. Shelbourne certainly creating the better chances. And now it's Shamrock Rovers' turn to defend. Got past the last defender. Caldwell was back there to cover. Ford did well. Scully with the long clearance. Britton. And it falls for Gagan again. Baker to his right. Campbell moving into the box. Here's Baker's cross towards Dave Campbell. And across the face of the goal and wide. Campbell should have put that one on target. Another chance spurned by Shelbourne. They've had enough to win this match. Costello's cross. Over Campbell's head, Rutherford. Tony Sheridan as a second half substitute. Time to make the cross, and Campbell's header! Almost off the base of the upright. Rovers defence living a charmed life. Dave Campbell just inches away. Into stoppage time then, at the end of an excellent league match, and the final blast means it ends on as even. Shelbourne 1, Shamrock Rovers 1, both sides failing to go top, but an excellent advertisement for the National League.
We took it to them in the first half, got our goal, went in at half time, and they had to come at us.
Like that, we'll do very well. We're missing the likes of Pat Morley and John O'Rourke, who are natural goal scorers. Dave Campbell is starting to get into positions. We're starting to create plenty of chances. If we just take a fair percentage of those, we'll be up there at the end of the season.
Yes, that certainly was an excellent match at Talk.
It was Peter Whitnell, though, who unsettled the Shelbourne defence early on. Alan Goff's clearance cannoning off the former down footballer. Shells took the lead with one of the game's few fluid moves. McNeville set Sheridan away. He did well. Stephen Gagan flicked on, and there was Desi Baker to claim his 4th of the season. 3 of Shelbourne's best combining at pace after just 7 minutes. Baker getting in ahead of Dave Crawley, and Shells were on their way to their first league victory in 3 weeks. The Dublin side's pace was the difference between the sides. Mark Rutherford's run set up Gagan once more. And it was Pat Fennan given space to shoot who forced Steve Williams into action. A fine save kept Dundalk in touch. But like last Sunday's defeat at St. Pat's, Jim McLaughlin's side were competitive without creating too many chances. Though Mick Doohan's precise pass gave Peter Whitnell the chance, excellent defending by Greg Costello forced him wide. His shot not threatening Alan Goff's goal. Lack of support from midfield the key there. Shelbourne's defence in complete charge. In contrast, Shells always had that little extra space and support. McNeville and Fennan setting up Baker, and he had all the time in the world to get his shot away. An excellent strike it was too by one of the league's most consistent performers this season. If anything, the second half deteriorated with few chances created. Brian Byrne went wide looking for space, and it was his run which picked out Noel Melvin. Alan Goff untroubled with that weak finish. Just one more chance for Dundalk to get on terms. Stephen Gagan's first touch let him down. David Hoey with the shot from long range which tested Goff. He got down well to save. One of the few times he was troubled, as Shelbourne are back to winning ways.
It was a very good win, very important 3 points. The goal we got was a very good goal. It looked very simple in the end. The build-up was exceptionally good crisp passing, good cross into the box, very sharp opportunities from Desi Baker. We should have won by more because we kept catching Dundalk on the break. And if the only complaint I have about my team is we didn't pass the ball early enough and quickly enough. If we had it, we'd have really made Dundalk pay. But I have to accept a very good team performance.
One has to be pleased with the effort the team is
around.
Damian Richardson tonight, of course, fielding his first unchanged lineup of the season. Here's Rutherford. Sheridan, as always, very much involved and now very much back in favour again. McNeville, team captain. Here's Costello. Oh, it's a smashing shot and an excellent save there by Steve Williams. Well, this is about the only chance we've had in the first half of a goal, and it was an excellent shot. Presentation here at half-time. That is to Jimmy O'Connor. 30 years ago, he got the fastest hat-trick on record, 2 minutes and 14 seconds, shortly to be ratified by the Guinness Book of Records. That game was against Bohemians in the colours of Shelbourne. Ball knocked confidently away. Reddish again here. Leaving it for Kevin Brady. Always made a hash of it. Gifting it here to Stephen Gagan. This is a chance. It's number one. Stephen Gagan punishing that slack passing error here by Kevin Brady of Dundalk. Gagan was in for his 4th goal of the season. A wonderful strike from just outside the penalty area, easily beating Williams. Confidently down. Here's a chance for Dundalk. It's Peter Whitnell. This to make it 1-1 perhaps. Oh, he's just missed it. It's as close as Dundalk have been. Fenlon. Campbell trying to keep the attack alive. Now Mark Rutherford, former Birmingham City player of course, going right at the heart of the Dundalk defence. Oh, that must be a penalty. Kevin Brady upended him, and referee Michael Tominey has no doubt about it. He skipped past the challenge of Shane Reddish, then Brady nipped in and down went Rutherford. So the former Welsh international goalkeeper is beaten here by Stephen Gagan, his 2nd of the match, an expertly taken penalty, beating Steve Williams. Fenlon again. Here's McNeville. Down towards Gagan once again. Again he tries to get in on the blind side of Kevin Brady, who's having a nightmare match. Gagan, was that handball? Shells believe it was. The referee ignores the appeals. Rutherford has it, edge of the penalty area, and easily taken by the goalkeeper. But what about that just moments ago there? This is where Stephen Gagan was breezing inside, and as it came back onto his right boot, eventually he hit this one, which was off the body there of David Crawley. Baker. And seeking out Sheridan. Back towards Desi Baker. Looking for the 3rd one. And it's gone wide across the face of goal. It stays at 2-0 to Shelbourne.
Yes, a good win there for Shelbourne. The leaders, St Patrick's Athletic, were also in action last night in Richmond Park.
Last night, and a 3-goal spell within 4 minutes ended Kilkenny's chances of points at home. Stephen Gagan scored the first after McNeville's shot had taken a wicked deflection. 3 minutes later, Gagan scored his 100th league goal, this time from the penalty spot. And a minute later, Shelbourne were 3 up, Pat Scully with a free header from close range. Well, Kilkenny's Aidan Cooney scored their only goal of the night on the half hour after Richie Hale's effort had rebounded kindly off the crossbar. Okay, time now for one of the other big stories, of course, Stephen Gagan.
You're unbelievable.
Promising attack. Osam into the middle, missed by O'Donoghue, but not by Gagan, and Rovers are right back in the hunt.
You're unbelievable.
That's a lovely ball. Oh, what a finish! That's a terrific goal by Stephen Gagan.
Bodecan with a cross. Gagan! Gagan, it's there! Oh, he picked out Morley. Set up for Gagan. Look! Wow, pick that one out. Gagan, it's there!
Unbelievable.
Yes, that's how you finish them, and as you saw, Stephen Gagan achieved the milestone with 3 clubs, and he becomes the 31st player to reach the ton, one of 6 still playing. Well, he was on duty last night for Shelbourne as they took on champions Derry City in Tolka Park.
Stephen Gagan hoping to start his 2nd ton at Derry's expense tonight. James Keddy. Stopped in his tracks by Greg Costello. Free kick to Derry. Taken by Keddy. Headed away. Straight to Hegarty, and that wasn't far away. Hegarty going close. Baker over the top. It's Stephen Gagan in chase. Paul Curran the defender. Laid back in to Sheridan. And the post saves Derry. Mark Rutherford unable to get the rebound. James Keddy looking dangerous. Trying to get inside Costello. Sheridan in his way. Back to Hegarty. Engineers some space. Might have a chance to shoot. Oh, and again the post coming into the action. This time Shelbourne the lucky party. Crossed by Doherty. Header back in by Coyle and over the top by Hutton. That's the nearest Derry have come to a goal. Mark Rutherford battling with Doherty. And the free kick going the Reds' way. Mick Neville. And it goes all the way through to Pat Scully. And that's a soft goal for Derry to concede. But Shelbourne are in front 8 minutes into the second half. And Pat Scully continues his rich vein of goal-scoring form. Lovely flick by Coyle. And here's Hutton in the clear, but he's dragged it wide. Another great opportunity wasted by Derry. A header forward from Curran. Scully leaning on Liam Coyle. And here's Pat Fenton holding him, and Coyle throws out his arm and catches Pat Fenton. Now surely, with the referee right beside the incident, he'll have to do something about that. Now Fenton had already been booked, Coyle hadn't. And he sent Liam Coyle off. So Derry reduced to 10 men in the closing minutes, and also Pat Fenton getting his marching orders for a second bookable offence.
Yes, that really was a difficult encounter for...
It was hard to tell the difference, as Drogheda carved the better openings in difficult conditions. Drogheda will this morning rue their missed chances, none more so than John Reid's header, which failed to find the net thanks to the intervention of Pat Fenton. Goff getting down to stop Hart's follow-up. This may have been Shelbourne's 5th clean sheet in 6 matches, but without the influence of Pat Scully, their defence looked at times pretty shaky. The second half started, as did the first. Tony McCarthy's scrambling tackle on substitute Noel Reid clearing the danger this time. On a night when Shells never found their stride and were reduced to long-range, speculative shots like that one from Dave Campbell. The winner came as a result of some dogged running by Desi Baker. David Fairclough picked up the back flick, but his clearance came off Sheridan. Campbell flicked it back to Sheridan, and his chip and hope found keeper Gareth Byrne in the muddle. Sheridan could hardly believe it. Neither could we. Drogheda's nightmare season continues, denied a share of the points by a freak goal that keeps Shelbourne right in the title chase. Continuing injuries, and Sean
significant that 3 of this season's Players of the Month, voted for by the soccer writers, will be involved next Friday, and that's a measure of how much these sides have dominated since September. It's also pertinent that several of the key players
I'd just been released from Coventry and I was on a downer. To get picked in the squad by Brian Kerr to go to Malaysia was a great honour for myself, but then to get in the team and to do so well over there, you know, it's great. We all came back as heroes, so it's, you know, it's been brilliant ever since for me. Well, I had the option to go back over to England, sign for Tranmere, and then Pat Dolan came in and showed me the setup in Pat's and how professional everything was, and you know, that was my, you know, as soon as I'd seen that, my mind was made up. I think I made the right decision, you know.
Things have gone really well since I came back. I've been in the under 21 squad and went to Malaysia and playing really well over here. So like, I've no queries of coming home at all. Like, it's gone really well for me. We need to win against Pats next week to get the 3 points that we need and go a point clear. You know, it's a very important game for us.
We've only conceded 1 goal in the past 7 games, so we'll be looking to keep another clean sheet, hopefully.
There's going to be some players like Colin and Trevor, Thomas Morgan. There's also some good players there, you know what I mean? We're going to be up against it next week.
It's a bit unusual for me this year. I've been lucky enough to get a few chances. I've been taking them, but most of them have come from set pieces, and we've got some great lads who take them. Desi Baker, Tony Sheridan, Pat Fenton, putting some great deliveries. So lucky enough I've been scoring, and hopefully it can continue. The 2 down in Derry were very important. We were 2-0 down at half-time, and we were struggling a bit, even though we were playing very well. And I think it was a great result to come back and get 2-2. So they were very important, and I think that got us rolling really well. Well, we played them over there and it was a cracking game. Hopefully it'll be the same again on Friday. But Colin Hawkins seems to be doing very well for them at the back. Ian Genzine up front and Trevor Malloy. I mean, they've got a very talented squad. Pat Owens done a great job there. I know Pat from years and he's an excellent coach and they've done a great job. We're doing very well and so are they, so hopefully it'll be a good game. Well, we started off very well and we had a couple of bad results away from home that kind of knocked us back a bit. But we've come very well now for the last 4 or 5 games. We seem to be a little bit stronger this year, I think, a lot more resolve in the squad and everything, and the team spirit's very well, so we're going very well and we're happy the way things are going.
Pat Scully in upbeat mood, and why not, with 7 goals to his credit from the centre-half position. And one of the most significant changes in the National League in recent times is the number of young players like Scully, Baker and Hawkins who have chosen to play here rather than accept contracts cross-channel. Well, that's something about which Damien Richardson has strong views.
I think the barometer for any football league is the amount of young players they produce and attract. And over the last 10 years or so, League of Ireland football has failed lamentably in producing young players and attracting young players. The fact that so many young players are coming back from England, I think, is a twofold answer to it. One is that it's very, very competitive and very difficult now to make the breakthrough in England because the amount of foreign players, the amount of pressure on managers. But also the fact that League of Ireland football has improved quite dramatically over the last 3 or 4 years. The stadia have improved, the pitches are far superior, and the level of and quality of the technical play has improved quite enormously. So we are now a viable product, and young players see that, and they're coming back to it because they know what's here and they know the potential that's here. And it's a very, very good stepping stone as well.
You're going into the match next Friday, first and second in the league. It's obviously the big clash of the season so far. How do you think it's going to go?
Well, I hope it's as good as the first game in Richmond Park some months ago, because I think that was the best game of the season by a long shot. In the first half, we were technically wonderful, we were superb, we passed well, we were very penetrative. We scored 3 and we could have scored 1 or 2 more. In the second half, Pats came out, they threw caution to the wind. They gave an inspired second half performance and had us on the rack for long periods in that game. And whilst we could have got the 4th goal that would have put the game out of reach, we didn't. And the game was in doubt right up to the final whistle. I think in the last minute, Pats hit the upright, so they could have got the draw. But it was a wonderful game in every sense of the word. And it had everything that people going to a football game would want. If we can reproduce that sort of form, that sort of entertainment value, then it'll be a great success. It's our responsibility to be entertainers. I don't want Pats coming here and being defensive and being cautious. We won't be defensive, we won't be cautious. We will go out for the win, that's so important. Pats will come here to entertain. So we're guaranteed a good game on Friday.
For the match next Friday, I know you've got a special deal for schoolboy clubs. What's on offer?
As I said earlier, we've been going around schools, paying visits to schools, speaking to school children of every age, from 8 up to 16, 17, 18. We have a special offer when we go to the schools that we offer under 16 years of age, all boys and girls, free yearly membership, free season tickets, Shelbourne junior memberships. They can come down free, they get a personalised season ticket. It gets them into every game here at Tolka Park. And we've been getting great success with that. Our gates have improved tremendously. But most important of all, the noise and the sort of attention that these young people add has been very successful. And again, I said, it's building up rapport, building up our identity in the north side of Dublin. And it's something that we will continue to do over the foreseeable future.
Yes, a great initiative there by the Shelbourne Club as they are doing their bit to get more youngsters following the game here. Well, with me in studio now I have Pat Dolan, the St. Pat's manager. And Pat, I know that this is something that you are also very keen on, bringing young people into the game.
Yeah, I think over the last 4 or 5 years particularly, since we returned to Richmond Park, we've been very aware of the responsibility we have to our community. And young people have the opportunity to go and watch live soccer. They can support English teams, but they don't really get the opportunity to go and watch them. The atmosphere at Richmond Park in the Stadium and Light, it's magnificent. So we go into the schools, our players coach local school kids, and we've always got lots of young people there, and it's been a tremendous boost to the club.
Well, Pat, anybody watching St. Pat's play over the last couple of months or watching a very successful side, this is an incredible run you're on, and another win last night, of course. Yeah, it was a very good performance last night. It was very gritty and it showed lots of character, and Finn Harps are an excellent side. We are doing very, very well. I think people forget this is a brand new side. A lot of the teams that we're competing against are 3 or 4 years down the road. We've got a lot of young players, but these are exciting times on and off the pitch at St. Pat's Athletic. Your only stumble, of course, this year goes back to September, and of course it was Shelbourne, that game, an amazing game, 5 goals, 3 down at one stage. Yeah, well, we don't look back on it as a stumble. We look back at it as a turning point. We were 3-0 down at half time, and Shells tore us apart in the first half. But certainly,
being 3-0 down at half-time, we reorganised at half-time, we changed the shape.
Yes.
And we also showed what we're renowned for, and that's our spirit. We never give up, and we approached the game in a very positive manner in the second half.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see here coming up now, at the start of the second half, Keith Long curled a wonderful shot to the top corner. But
that put you right back into it. You might have even snatched it at the end.
Yeah, Martin Riley was very unlucky with an overhead kick. But what we did in the second half is we played 3 up front, and we managed to get our forwards in behind them on a number of occasions, and we missed a couple of very good one-on-one chances, and we also tightened up at the back. In the wide positions, they were very good against us, and we addressed that at half-time and solved that problem.
Well, you heard Damien say there, he wants you to come and play and score goals.
Yeah, well, I'll obviously be giving Damien a call this week to see what sort of team he wants me to play. I think that we're very happy with the way we're going at St Patrick's, and we tend to concentrate on doing a professional job ourselves. With so many young players in our squad, I don't think people expected us to be in this challenging position. To try and be successful in the National League, it's very elusive, and you have to work very, very hard. And I think really football does the talking. People can talk about the way they play, the results on the board. Football worldwide, that's what counts. It will be a great game at Tolka Park next week, but we'll be trying very, very hard to compete as well.
I know you will. We're looking forward to it. And that game next Friday can be seen live here on Network 2. Our coverage begins at 7:30. The match itself kicks off at 7:35. That's Shelbourne and St Patrick's Athletic, and it should be quite a night by the River Tolka. Now at half-time at Twickenham, England lead the...
In a good position. We did have somebody on the far post. There's Martin Riley on the far post. See Martin Riley on his far post. I think he's had a look up. Decided to have a go. It was a good save to the keeper though.
Here's the first corner of the match. Deep into the box off Neville's head. Riley dispossessed by Sheridan. And Desi Baker on the break. Ahead of him is Gagan. Rutherford is wide in the right and free. Baker goes for Gagan. Rutherford continues, but the flag has gone up again. Offside against Stephen Gagan. Won by Long. Morgan. Gilzine has been pretty quiet so far. Another good ball. He's given it there to Rutherford. And into this goes Baker. With the keeper saw the danger coming, Trevor Wood. Morgan. Gormley. Long. Aimed at Gilzine. And the challenge of McCartney was deemed to be a foul. A free kick to St Patrick's Athletic. Gormley's free kick. Osama at the back. That's it! 1-0 Pats. Paul Osam in the 36th minute has put the league leaders in front.
Did well as well. His right foot is on his back foot. Good ball by Long. Just put it in there, but obviously Shelbourne players, when we see it again, I've had to be standing watching that for him to get round the back like he did. But he's tucked it away brilliantly into the far post. And everybody's marked up. Definitely got around the back of somebody there.
It was Dave Campbell, actually.
It was Dave Campbell. When he's gone around the back of him, Alexander and finish it off very well. He's coming out with his bad foot. He's a natural left-footed player. It's hard to shake off it.
He also scored when they last met here in March in the 1-1 draw.
He's tucked it away well.
And they're happy. Neville. Looking for Desi Baker. Trying to knock it into the path of Gagan, but cleared by Lynch. Costello against Malloy. It's broken nicely for Sheridan. And now it's Fenlon. But Pats with everybody back. Disciplined defending. Baker. Gagan. And Sheridan. Dave Campbell. Baker. Better. But the finish, no power to the shot.
It's bad pass by Shelbourne. At least they find the red shirt. And if you do that, you've got a chance of building something up.
On by Baker. Gagan against Lynch. Taken over by Baker again. And running long, and a good-looking cross. Rutherford goes in, but well defended by Willie Burke.
Good run by Baker and a good cross as well. No being on the near post. Again, Pat's defending well. Burke getting into the right position. Good ball by Baker. Yeah, good covered position to get it away.
Inviting looking ball in there. Wood having to punch. Gormley away.
Seems to become fashionable lately, George, with goalkeepers punching the ball away when it's chest high. Continentals used to do that. I think he could have caught that ball. It's chest high, it doesn't need to be punched.
Neville seeking the onrushing Sheridan. And now it's Baker, profiting from Long's clearance. Campbell has come off the referee. Then McCarthy for Neville. Headed away by Long. And well played by Riley for Osam. Gilzine. Played for Riley. He's onside this time. It's Martin Riley. And the man who scored 3 and 3 wastes the opportunity.
I think he waited too long for the ball to come down. Got a little break here, Pants. You can see it, and then it came off Campbell's foot, I think. You see in that position there. He could have been attacking well done, waiting for it to come down. Just get it while it was in the air and take an extra stride, just take it away. This is the chance. I think once the second bounce, they should have there. After that, they just really hit it. He could have taken on another step and get it under control, under real control. He was a bit anxious at it. Looked a bit anxious.
Hawkins. And that was a little ambitious by Osam. Hawkins will run all right, but Goff comes out of his goal. Sheridan. Fenlon. Baker. Baker with a cross. And Rutherford at the back. And did that touch the hand of the defender, Willie Burke?
I don't think it did, George. I think it hit him on the back.
Well, here goes Paul Campbell. Oh, and a chance for Gilzine! The flag is up again.
Well, that was close. Coming in at that angle. That was very close. I'm not so sure he was offside there. This is a very good ball in. A very good ball in. We're not getting a good angle on it, but I thought he timed his run well.
Osam again. There's Sheridan. Dave Campbell. Pull back for Baker. Nice little twist of his feet, and Baker's shot. Save! And punches wide by Gagan. There's the corner, which they've defended well. Fenlon. Baker again. Lovely little change of feet just to the edge of the box to give himself the room. Costello for Neville. McNeville's cross. Away by Packy Lynch. Sheridan. Scully goes in, Wood goes up, clutches safely. This is Desi Baker's chance.
Yeah, did well, Baker. Comes on the edge of the box, getting his left foot. I think he might have got a little deflection. Certainly the goalkeeper didn't see it until the last second.
Osam. Riley. Now out right is Campbell. Riley goes instead for Gilzine. Now he looks for Campbell. Rutherford miskicked. Campbell against Rutherford with support from Willie Burke. 3 Pats players in the box. That's for Campbell to run onto. Rutherford back defending. Campbell's kept it in play. Burke tried to come onto it. Neville got it away. And the whistle sounds for the challenge by Willie Burke on McNeville. You certainly couldn't complain too much about the entertainment in the second half of this. Shelbourne have come out with Pats and played much better than in the first. And Pats have looked threatening on the counter. Baker took too much out of that goal kick. Lynch goes well there. This is Packy Lynch again. Gormley asked a lot of him. Oh! And a dreadful challenge that by Paul Campbell on Eddie Gormley. And the card comes out Gormley was in serious difficulty. This was the challenge.
It's a bit late, wasn't it?
But there will be a change on the Pat side. It's Paul Keegan who's going to replace Eddie Gormley. This young man is on loan from the United States Soccer Federation, where he plays with the New England Revolution. So he's on to replace the St. Patrick's Athletic captain Eddie Gormley, who's being borne away now. And a yellow card for Dave Campbell. Keegan comes on for his debut for St. Patrick's Athletic in his place. This is Gilzine, meanwhile. Keegan trying to get back in there. It's Riley, and he goes down off Rutherford, and a free kick's awarded. And the referee determined that that was a penalty, and I'd love to see the replay.
I think it was inside the box. I think he's copped out of this, the referee, a little bit. I must be honest, I thought he was inside it. Let's see where the contact was made. Well, very close. Maybe he was just on the edge of the box. Maybe it was a bit harsh on the referee there. Very close to.
Free kick's been taken. Gilzine, well saved by Goff. That was a fierce shot by Ian Gilzine. Now it's Campbell. Felt that the goalkeeper had left enough of a space there to be worth a goal.
Good save. It looks like it's gone through the wall to me. Look how loose the wall is. There's supposed to be 4 players in it. Look, it's gone right through it. That's just getting out of the way of the wall. The goalkeeper's very little chance, but a very good save. Look at the wall when he hits it. It's gone right between them. That's a good save for the keeper.
Free kick to Pats.
Well, Shelbourne at this stage are just leaving 5 men up the field and they're hoping to get a long one and lock on. But they're not defending, really. I think Pats will lick another goal before the end of this match.
A little bit of a mix-up in the footwear department there by Martin Riley, and a goal kick to Shelbourne. But the Pats are... Oh! An own goal by Tony McCarthy. And that is surely that. Right out of nothing, under no real threat, Tony McCarthy lobs his own goalkeeper, and Ian Gilzine gets the congratulations because of whatever pressure he applied.
Yeah, it was a good header. What's the American's name, George?
Keegan.
Yeah, it was a good header on by him. It was an awful one for McCarthy. Gilzine put him under good pressure because it looked like if the ball had fallen any lower, Gilzine would have gone onto it. That's why he's attacked it as high as he has done, McCarthy, and it was a beautiful chip. Goalkeeper had no chance from it. I must add, the Pats definitely deserve it. When they've had to defend, they defend really well. And Shelbourne are throwing everything at them, but you become a bit of a shambles when you do that.
And that's the end of it all. And it's a bit early to suggest it, but it's certainly been quite a night for St. Patrick's Athletic. Now 5 points clear of Shelbourne at the top of the Premier Division. And could it be that that's one of the more significant results when it comes to deciding who will be the champions of 1998?
Yes, a great win for St. Pat's, and one that leaves the other teams in the Premier Division with the proverbial mountain to climb if they harbour intentions of taking the league pennant at the end of the season. Well, St. Pat's firmly in control as we approach the halfway point of the season on 37 points. That's 5 ahead of Shelbourne, with Cork City in 3rd place. Shamrock Rovers, Dundalk and Finn Harps complete the top 6. Well, at the other end, Derry City, who transferred their inspirational captain Peter Hutton to Portadown.
After their defeat last week to St. Pat's, Shelbourne badly needed a victory to keep their title hopes alive, and they set out the task in determined fashion, with Mark Rutherford breaking down the left wing from the start, but Stephen Gagan shot weakly at Jody Byrne. Shelbourne could have been 2 up. Pat Fennan breaking through here, but again it was Jody Byrne to the rescue for Finn Harps. In the 15th minute, Finn Harps went into the lead against the run of play. John Gerard McGettigan changed the direction of attack to the left wing. And in comes Donal O'Brien's cross, laid off by Jonathan Speake. And it's Sammy Johnson who volleyed first time to leave Goff with little chance. 1-0 to the Harps. Shelbourne found themselves 2 down just before the break. Johnston was the provider for McGettigan, and his through pass found Jonathan Speake. Speake's determination saw him outpace Neville and McCarthy. Gough advanced, but Speake was left with a simple task, Harp's top scorer adding to his tally. 10 minutes into the second half and Shelbourne had the bit between their teeth. Tony McCarthy's long clearance was laid off by Sheridan. This is Desi Baker on the ball now, and despite the persistence of Declan Boyle, Baker got his cross in. And there was Stephen Gagan with the header, bringing the Reds back into the game. Just 40 seconds later, the sides were level. A throw in from Sheridan, and that went to Costello. He sent Desi Baker away. This time the cross was met by Mark Rutherford. The Reds were back in the match. As Shelbourne went in front 4 minutes later, Mick Neville's free kick from just inside his own half. Pat Scully's back header going to the far post where Gagan was lurking with Boyle. Gagan's predatory instinct saw him nip the ball away from Boyle and past Byrne as Shelbourne kept up the pressure on St Patrick's Athletic at the top.
Right, there we have a confirmation of last night's results in the Premier Division. The game in United Park was abandoned after 47 minutes because of fog. Well, let's have a look at the table now. At the Championship end of affairs, St Pat's lead has been reduced to 3 points over Shelbourne, with Cork City still 7 points in arrears. Shamrock Rovers, Dundalk and Finn Harps will be looking forward.
Regan, facing the crowd, Stephen Gagan, not where he'd wish to be on a day like today. Plenty of air on that. Scully had stayed up and just taken away from Campbell by the outstretched leg of Sean Byrne. A rather clumsy challenge that by Darren Brown, and a free kick to Shelbourne. Taken by Fenlon for Costello. And once again a big cross in there. And the header from Pat Scully just going over the bar. The free kick quickly taken. And Costello again giving it plenty of air. And Scully managed to get up above the defenders, 3 of them, but put the header over the bar. It's Costello's head. Good early ball out of defence, picking out Jason Purcell. Men in the middle for him, but not a particularly good cross by Purcell. And seen behind by goalkeeper Alan Gough. Sheridan. Fenlon inviting Kelly onto it. Hickey out of his goal, and a brave save by the goalkeeper. Good goalkeeping. Sheridan playing it through, headed on, and there was Kelly, but the keeper did well. Ronan Hanrahan to take the throw in. He's gone for Purcell. McCarthy's there as well, and he's put it behind for Limerick's first corner of the game. Burns on the near post. Casey taking it left-footed. Gough up with the fists, and there was pushing on the goalkeeper there. It's a free kick to Shelbourne. One back by Fenlon. Neville beating Purcell. Rutherford. Rutherford using Fenlon. 3 in the middle for Pat Fenlon. The cross finds only Hanrahan, who puts it behind for a corner. Shelbourne's 5th. Baker with the corner. Hickey there with the fists. Sheridan off the line. Get out! Get out! Baker and Rutherford. Limerick living dangerously. And Mark Rutherford finally making them pay. Floated in beautifully. A shot from Sheridan cleared off the line. But then Baker picked out Rutherford on the edge of the box, and through the crowded penalty area he picked a spot across the bows of goalkeeper Hickey. And there's the opening goal for the cup holders. 25 minutes gone. Here's Sheridan. Oh, that's a great looking ball. Kelly's gone through the channel. Liam Kelly, and there's number 2. And the second goal scored by Liam Kelly on his debut. Almost straight from the kickoff. Kelly split the defence and slid it past Hickey, and there was number 2 within a minute. And what a day for him in place of Stephen Gagan, taking the place of the injured scorer and doing the same himself. Fenlon, receipt from Sheridan. Now Rutherford taking on Hanrahan. Rutherford's cross, at the back is Fenlon. And it's there for Baker. Desi Baker makes it 3. And Rutherford again, so important in the creation of that goal. His play up the left, teasing Hanrahan. And then when the cross, deep cross went over, Fenlon was there to put it in the danger zone and Baker finished it off. Great cross by Rutherford. Fenlon ripping the defence apart, and the finishing touch applied by Desi Baker. Fenlon. Rutherford. Good looking cross. And Baker wasn't too far away from that. It's been an outstanding first half performance from Mark Rutherford, scorer of one, creator of another, and then this. Sheridan fighting Baker onto it. Kelly's in the middle. Baker for Kelly. And saved in desperation by Eddie Hickey. Wonderful play by Sheridan and Baker. And Kelly was in the middle. Beautiful cross, and Hickey just about managed to scramble it clear. Big win. And that's the last action of the first half, a half in which the gulf between top of the Premier and third of the first was amply illustrated. No more so than by this man, Mark Rutherford, who scored the first after 25 minutes. And within 5 minutes, Shelbourne were 3 in front because debutman Liam Kelly had got number 2. And then from Rutherford's cross, Desi Baker added the third. A most convincing first half performance by Shells. The cup holders would appear to be well on their way to round 2. Baker. Kelly running on. Hanrahan tracking back. Out of the middle has come Finnan. And that's rebounded to Baker. Baker just couldn't keep it under control. Cleared by Byrne. Howie King. Well, his half-time cup of tea will have been suitably sweetened by that first half performance. Casey. Kelly, and Sheridan's made a great run. Then arriving in the middle for him now. Sheridan taking on Casey. It's come to free to Rutherford. And Rutherford with a shot. A second for Mark Rutherford. And what a stunning goal it was. Sheridan in the van, picking out Rutherford. And what a cracking shot in off the upright. Sheridan had to hold it up till the teammates arrived, and they did. There were 3 there. The one he chose was Rutherford, and he found the net. 4-0 Shelbourne. Throw in taken by Hanrahan. And that's a foul by McCarthy. Scully defending. Byrne hopeful. Facing the free kick. They go back. At the back post. It's the substitute, Paul O'Donnell, Robbie Fowler's former roommate, who does a Fowler on it, gives Limerick the consolation. From the free kick by Casey, they failed to pick him up at the back, and the simplest of finishes. In goes Fitzgerald, now it's Fenlon, who just had the feet taken from him by Sean Byrne. Free kick in a good position for Shelbourne. Eddie Hickey has to defend it. The wall will be back just inside the penalty area. It's Fenlon to try and bend it. Not so far away at all. Hickey had left the wall to defend that side of the goal. Fenlon curled it, and it really wasn't very far away at all. Challenged by Fenlon. And then one back by Fitzgerald. Sheridan. Kelly a willing runner. Kelly's cross. Rutherford goes up. Baker couldn't get there. Sheridan's at the back. Penalty box full of red shirts. There's one outside, and Fenlon shoots, and it's just wide. Really was a case of queuing up for it then. They chose Pat Fenlon, one of the red shirts, outside the area. The shot went wide. Kelly. Sheridan for Baker. And Baker beautifully through. Desi Baker goes on. Denied at the death, but here's Rutherford who might have another chance. And headed clear by Tobin. And away by Barry Ryan. Desi Baker superbly was there, and here he is on the ball again. Baker with the cross. And the header goes in by Fitzgerald. Wonderful play by Desi Baker here, but he was always struggling to keep it under control. And when the shot came in, it was Tobin who headed it away. And then Baker fashioning another opportunity. Fitzgerald with a header. It's saved by Hickey. And it's Brown, and through goes Howie King, handball. And a yellow card for Howie King for deliberate handball. Coming through here on Scully. I wonder. Meanwhile, it's Fenlon for Shelbourne. Out of the post, saves Limerick. Well, they could have had a bagful. And he could have had a bagful. Through in the clear. Hickey beaten. The upright to the rescue. Rutherford. Fenlon. Muir. Back again for Fenlon, who's onside. And Fenlon puts it wide. He cannot believe it. Nice 1-2 between Baker and Rutherford. Muir's in the middle. Rutherford's cross finds Sheridan. Rebounded from Casey. And a throw into Shelbourne. Did well to get in the way of it. Sheridan's throw for Muir. Smith. Baker. And that's the last action of the game. And the cup holders safely negotiate the first hurdle. In truth, it has to be said, the gulf between top of the Premier and third of the first was much too great for Shelbourne ever to be troubled. And the 4-1 scoreline does scant justice to their dominance of this match.
Yes, so the cup holders safely through. Well, let's look at some of those who joined them in the second round. First to Friday night, when 2 of the 3 matches were drawn, but there was a result at Dalymount Park.
Cork City advanced to the second round of this year's FAI Cup in the most bizarre of circumstances. Turtle aspirations were dealt a serious blow when they went down to Bohemians in the Dublin Derby. Derek McGrath cutting in from the right was brought down just inside the box by Tony McCarthy. Referee Hughie Byrne awarded the penalty kick. Donald Brown, villain 2 weeks ago, turned hero as his effort gave Bohemians 3 valuable points.
So here we have confirmation of today's results. St. Pat's beating Shamrock Rovers by 2-0. Cork and Sligo. After the interval, James Keddy's corner met by Paul Curran, his powerful header beating Alan Goff in the Shelbourne goal. But the visitors were back on terms midway through the second half. Pat Scully picking up Sheridan's left wing cross to find the unmarked Liam Kelly. He fired home from close range to level the match. Well, just as it seemed that both sides would share the points, Shelbourne were awarded a penalty in injury time after Robbie Brunton handled Liam Kelly's shot. Referee John McDermott had no option but to send Brunton to the line. Then up stepped Desi Baker to score the winner to move Shelbourne within a point of the leaders, St. Patrick's Athletic. Bree played host today to the National Cross Country Championship. Count themselves lucky on a number of accounts. The first piece of good fortune came in the 12th minute. Desi Baker controlled the ball well there, then his shot took a deflection off John Reid and ended up in the back of the net. With their lead established, Shelbourne contributed little else and were lucky that Drogheda United striker Joe Gallen wasn't in goal-scoring form last night. It was a miserable evening all round, really, heightened by the poor weather conditions. Ian Hill missing another chance there as Drogheda tried to draw level.
On to UCD in the rain. Tony O'Donoghue was there for News 2.
The students of UCD are still in the points race as end of term approaches, but their exam is at the wrong end of the table. Shelbourne are chasing a League and Cup double, and it was the Reds who went ahead early on. Desi Baker breaking down the right, his cross missed out by Stephen Gagan, and Pat Fenlon putting the ball past Seamus Kelly in the students' goal. 4 minutes later and College were back on level terms, thanks to a powerful header from Robert Griffin. In truth, this was no more than College deserved. On a rainy night at Belfield, Shelbourne soon regained the advantage though. Tony McCarthy was involved early on, and then the ball broke to Desi Baker. Once again he supplied the cross, McCarthy was there again. From that range, his header unstoppable. In a game that ebbed and flowed, UCD provided the most fluent movement of the evening. Aidan Lynch combining well with Mick O'Byrne before Lynch himself was on hand to provide the finish. 2 goals each. Tonight was Shelbourne's game in hand over St. Pat's, and a draw would have delighted the league leaders at Inchicore. It looked likely too when Stephen Gagan uncharacteristically put this ball wide of the post. The real Reds were worried. Then, with just minutes remaining, a bizarre winner that may yet decide the destination of the Premier Division title. A comedy of errors really as UCD tried to clear their lines. Eamon McLaughlin credited with the OG, but at this stage of the season, Shelbourne don't mind where the goals came from. Tonight, they passed a stern examination of their championship credentials.
So after that result, Shelbourne lead St. Pat's by 2 points. They have 2 games left, Shamrock Rovers at home and Dundalk away. Bray Wanderers are promoted from the First Division